Hi, my name is Scott Maskell. I'm a management analyst here at East Korea GSA. I'm here to talk to you today about how to utilize the Credit Manager feature. There are several other features that have been built into the Credit Manager to help with transparency and allowing the landowner the opportunity to kind of audit and have all the information available that they need to understand how credits are being utilized and transferred to offset ET. Over here on the left-hand side, we have several columns. The top column right here is the account summary. This is the home page of the Credit Manager. That'll show you the overall Credit Manager feature and its dashboards. As we talked about within the manual transfer, you have internal transfers. This is going to be transfers within the account, primarily manual transfers that the landowner implements. So you can review them all here. This last one is called external transfers. The difference between internal transfers and external transfers is internal transfers are within a water account. External transfers are from water account to water account. So for an example here, we can see that Linmore has implemented a policy in which they allowed all their landowners to receive credits based on the land that they own. And so we have an external transfer from Linmore over to these APNs where you can kind of see right here, here's the different acre feet that have been transferred over there. So you can go ahead and review all the external transfers between water account to water account. So if you traded with another landowner or received a transfer from another landowner, this is where you'll find that detail. Please keep in mind that any external transfers are already included within the starting balance. We also have built in this feature over here for show and hide actions. It's over on the left-hand side. This does not change or affect the Credit Manager in any way. This is simply a view option. So toggling these features on and off does not affect the Credit Manager or invoicing that is saved in any way. It just gives you different view options to kind of see, hey, what is the before and after effects of some of the changes that I've made on my account. So if I go ahead and hit here, if I happen to have manual transfers, it would, in my view only, like remove manual transfers so I could see the before and after. If I hit the auto run, it'd go ahead and you'd see what the account looked like before auto run feature was run, and then you can click and see what it looks like after. And then apply APN credits. This is mainly in regards to precip and ET. So you can kind of see like, hey, this is what it kind of looks like before and after I implement that precip and ET credit. Over here, we have an export button. If you go ahead and click this button, what it'll do is it'll download an export of any manual or auto run transfers that have been done between accounts. So if you have auto run turned on and you're trying to figure out, hey, where do those credits go? What APNs do they come from? And trying to figure out how and making sure that everything was correct, you can hit that export. It'll give you an Excel. It'll show you APN to APN, the type of bucket, and how much credit was transferred. So I'm going to go over real quick the actual Credit Manager and what all the columns and items mean. So the Credit Manager, we see right here, the first column is APN. This will have a list of all your APNs that are on this water account. The next column will see usage. This is the total ET usage that was defined by LandIQ for that parcel annually. This next one will see two rows within here, the carryover credit and the starting balance. The starting balance down here in bold is the net beginning balance that you had available based on that allocation or bucket type. So for example here, we can see this APN 006 had a starting balance of 90.57 acre feet of precip. Now this top column here, this is what we call a carryover credit. When we talk about allocation to allocation year, any unused credits, so any surplus credits that the landowner has, is available to carry over for following years. So as we previously talked in other videos and within the East Korea GSA rules and regulations, any native tier 1 and tier 2 allocation is viable for 5 years. So it's able to carry over and live for 5 years. Surface water does not have an expiration, and precip and ET credit have to be used within an allocation year. If you do have a surplus in the event where precip is greater than ET does not roll over. Over here on the left-hand side, underneath the show hide actions, you'll see an overall account summary. This will give you a total detail of how much credits is remaining on the account to be carried over. So here we can see tier 1, I have plus 0.6, tier 2, 78.5 acre feet. For native yield, you see that, and then for surface water, there's a 0. The summary penalty balance. This will let you know if you still have any pending overdraft on your account. So if there's a number here, you'll see it, and then it'll have an associated penalty fee, which is $500 per acre foot. So if you still see a number here in your penalty and you still have some summary credits up here, please make sure to either check the auto run. If you set limits, check those, and then apply any manual transfers as necessary to utilize these surplus credits to offset that penalty until you can get to reach zero. Down here on the bottom left, in this red button, we have the frequently asked questions page. If you go ahead and click that, it'll open up a PDF document that you're able to download or print. They'll have some common questions that are frequently asked and solutions on how to address those items as well. This ultimately will be a living document as we go. So the more kind of questions that kind of come up, we'll continually make sure to update so that way landowners have the best information as possible. One final feature of the credit manager for accounting purposes over here in the penalty column is this show details button. If you go ahead and click this button, what it does, it'll actually show you an APN level accounting. So over here, we can kind of see the priority use, precip and ET will always be first and second. These columns down here are based on your priority of use for tier 1, tier 2, native, and surface. It'll go across and basically show you a balance sheet of how the credits were run. We had a starting ET of 42.74. We can see how much was used, utilized, went down, and then it'll give you an overall net balance down here at the bottom. Once you have completed the credit manager and have everything exactly how you want it, you'll go ahead and submit the finalized changes down here on the bottom right. Once you hit that button, the credit manager will be locked out. You'll see a little lock item right here with the date that it was locked out. Once you submit it, the landowner will no longer be able to access the credit manager any longer. You'll then be instructed to come over to the billing tab and go to the invoice summary page, where a brand new invoice based on implemented changes will have been generated for the landowner to use. In the event that a landowner has submitted and locked down an account and they need access to it again, they can simply reach out to an East Korea GSA representative by the number provided or the groundwater@eastkoreagsa.com email, and we can unlock that feature for you. Please keep in mind that landowners have 60 days in order to complete this process. Once those 60 days have been completed, East Korea GSA staff will lock out all accounts. In the event that a landowner receives an invoice and they have not previously set up a water account, you can still go ahead and do this by going to the eastkoreagsa.org website. What you want to do is go over to the dashboard section and then create an account. Once you have created that account, you'll then want to contact an East Korea GSA representative who will be able to then assign all APNs to your water account. Once those have been assigned, you'll then be able to access your dashboard account with that water account and your APNs, and then go into this feature to complete this process.